What's up, people? It's kind of like a real talk going on today, like we talked about in the past. And one thing I just want to get off my chest right off the bat is just the college football rankings. Really, really, really upsets me. I watched the Ohio State game yesterday, and you know, we played good in the first half. I'm not 100% sure that we played well enough to get into the playoffs, although I'm not 100% sure that, um, what do you call it, that Alabama is good enough to get in the playoffs. And we see this type of thing every single year in the college playoffs. And you know what we don't see? We don't see, um, we don't see it in the NFL. The biggest complaints we have in the NFL right now are who's standing for the national anthem. And if you are going to complain about sports or whatever, like the sporting aspect of it, it's going to be, I'm in too tough of a division. I'm in a division with the Patriots. It sucks, whatever. But every team has their dynasties, their ups and downs, and everything. Let's dive into the chat real quick. I am Legend says, "Holla, how you doing?" RJ, hello. I have a movie going. I'm going to with my girlfriend, but I just wanted to say hi. Oh, that last one was Chad Brewer. Hey, Chad, thanks. I appreciate you stopping in. This isn't Golf Clash related or anything. This is just a pilot episode of like a real talk where I just want to talk with you guys about current events and things going on, whether it be in the news, whether it be in sports, whatever's important to you. We could talk about some things like Golf Clash, if you want, but I mean, like when it comes to Golf Clash, one of the things that I want to rant about that I'm kind of sick about with Golf Clash is this game's been out for a little while now, definitely long enough. And why do we only have friendlies in the first four tours? I don't understand that. I think it's a smart setup the way they have it. If you haven't unlocked tour two, then yeah, you can't play Tour 2. You could only play Tour 1. Why can't you do that all the way up through all the Pro Series and everything else? So, let's see. I Am Legend is telling me she's Ms. De La Cruz. I recognize the picture. I know who you are. Um, Big hello to you. It's been a while since you've been in here. And you do not follow football. That's fine. This isn't a football show. It's just one of many things that I wanted to cover. See what's important to you guys in the chat. And she says she hasn't played. Yeah, well, I only played with my friends. Chad, Ohio State didn't make it. We won yesterday. I wouldn't say we won convincingly. Twice it looked like they were going to have a game-winning drive against us, but luckily our defense stood up when our offense just kind of sputtered out. But I mean, I don't know what can fix college football. I mean, comparing it to the NFL, can 8 teams getting in really help? Well, then are your 9 and 10 teams going to throw as big of a stink? I mean, technically, I think your fifth and sixth teams deserve to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Um, Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. I mean, you can easily expand the playoffs. I think it's messed up that I don't know that just so many teams every year. There's a thing. Last year, Ohio State made it, and a lot of people thought Ohio State shouldn't have made it. PSU should have made it. It's always it's every year. Is basically what I'm saying, and they need to fix that. And we wanted the playoffs, we got the playoffs, but we got a broken playoff system. Anyway, did any of you guys watch my interview yesterday? I don't know, it might not be anything that you guys are interested in. Interviewing was kind of hard. So, you know, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to continue to do interviews. I'm glad I did that one, though. Ms. De La Cruz says, still love you, though. I love you guys, too. Man, chat is really quiet. I just wanted to come on and talk with you guys, you know, and I don't know, like, you know, I don't know what's important to me may not be what's important to you, and I'm just trying to reach out to my subscribers or whatever, you know, and talk about things other than you know, just playing video games or whatever. All right, Steven watched it. Thanks for chiming in, Steven. Steve, what did you think? I mean, regardless of content, you know, I mean, you kind of just tuned in and you had no idea what it was going to be about. You had no idea who was going to be, you know, that I interviewed or, you know, anything. But I mean, just the overall format. My God, I was so nervous. I was, for part of the time, you guys couldn't see it. You guys could not see this. Only me and him could see each other when we weren't on camera. And I actually had like a panic attack right in the middle of filming. And I had to like roll my chair away. I was like this. So while he was still talking, he's like, "What the heck is this guy doing?" You know, probably in his head and everything. And I had to compose myself and everything. That's why I kept the camera mainly on him because I was just falling apart, man. I was so nervous. The interview was Miss De La Cruz. The interview was on young Earth creation. It's a Christian thing, I guess. I don't know if other religions believe that the Earth could be 6,000 years old. Very interesting. You know, it's interesting to look up. Whether you buy into it or not is up to you. You know, I don't like to use the word buy into it because I'm leaning more towards it than I am away from it. I believe it could definitely be true. Um, Greg K says that was way too deep for me. Faith, hello, beautiful person. How are you? I'm doing great. How are you, beautiful person? I am Legend. Miss De La Cruz says I'll check it out. That's awesome. Yeah, he's a cool guy. We talked a couple times off the camera before actually putting it up, and I just think that it's an extremely interesting topic. It could definitely be profitable for your life moving forward. And, you know, if it's something you're into, great. If it's not something you're into, stay tuned to possible other like real talk type episodes like this. Um, you know, like one year, if I could get a guy on that believes that there's proof that, you know, we came from UFOs, you know, or if I can get someone on who believes that the earth is flat, you know, or even if I get input from you guys, like things you'd like to see, I'll go seek out smaller channels like myself and, you know, ask them if they want to be in, or if you guys just want to have a conversation with us, you know, like between us. But the interview thing, I don't know, the interview just seemed a little different. Like, you know, I was locked in for X amount of time and it got me really anxious. But let's see. Steven says, I thought it was very interesting, but a bit confusing as I'm English. We don't have as much deep as that. Hey, Steve, if there's anything you have questions on, I mean, I'm very well versed in young Earth creation. Are you meaning like too deep? Well, you said you thought it was very interesting but confusing. It's up to you. If you have any questions, you know, I'll answer your questions in the chat, or if you're just saying as a whole, you know, like you just didn't get into it, that's cool too. It's just episode one. It's just a pilot run. You guys remember I tried doing Sims videos and that didn't work out too well. I'm just trying to like expand my channel a little bit. You know, I like playing Golf Clash. I feel like um, you know, like I can still teach and like I could still hang out with you guys and do different things on Golf Clash. But at the same time, I feel like there's more I want to do on my channel, you know? I don't want to just keep telling you guys, hey, these are the best clubs in the game. Hey guys, you know, use this ball. This is curl. This is, you know, I feel like I beat that horse to death. So let's see. Oh, okay, I will definitely watch. I love stuff like that, says Miss De La Cruz. Aliens, she loves aliens, LOL. Hey, if I could find the people willing to watch, I'll definitely, get people on. Conspiracy theories, topics, like that are hot buttons or trending or whatever. We'll talk about anything. It's up to you guys. It's up to my audience. You know, whatever you guys want. The way I look at it, I work for you. YouTube does cut me a check, which is awesome. Being, um, on disability because of the anxiety, this is kind of like a work from home job. And if YouTube is going to continue to cut me a check for doing this, then I need I see I just froze up there. I don't know if the audio still comes through when I freeze up or if it just jumps. I got that bootleg internet. Okay, well, anyway, yeah. I work for you guys. I don't work for YouTube. I bring you, YouTube wants you guys to click on the buttons and everything and stay on YouTube. And, I feel like I got some things that, I like to talk about. And if I can get people that want to listen, then that's a partnership between me and YouTube, and that's why they cut me a check. Everyone who's a YouTuber can be cut a check. I have a bit of an advantage though, because I am on disability. I don't have a job, and if this could be my job, that would be absolutely awesome. Because working from home for someone who's agoraphobic would be huge. Going back to the comments, how now? Faith says thanks. I'm good. Awesome to hear. Ms. De La Cruz, RJ, that is a great idea on interviewing different people and their beliefs. Thank you. Karmajar, hi RJ, hi everyone. Explore your horizons, says Ms. De La Cruz. Stephen says, no, though it was very interesting, just left me with other questions, which I'm working through. All right, well, toss any of your questions towards me if you want. I've been into it for like the past, I don't know, 5, 6 years maybe. Uh, and let's see. Mark Rice says, I tuned in for Golf Clash. Well, this particular video, I made sure not to put Golf Clash in the title. So sorry, Mark. And that's the thing too. Mark brings up a good point. I did that interview yesterday. I always gain about, I don't know what. I can gain anywhere from 50, well, not from, well, 15 on the high end to maybe 2 or 3 subscribers a day on the low end. And the day I did the interview, it said I lost 2 subscribers. So I don't really think that I just lost 2 subscribers. I think I gained, probably anywhere from 2 to 15 subscribers. And then I lost anywhere from 4 to like 19 subscribers. There's people that, are just going to expect me to cover Golf Clash only. Mark says, just kidding, I'm cleaning the garage, just chilling. It's cool, man. I mean, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's kind of like what I want to do with my channel. I just want to expand it. Being completely honest with you guys, I never thought that I was going to be a gaming channel. I never thought I was going to be a Golf Clash channel. You guys have supported the daylights out of me, and I truly, man, I look like I got like a gray hair that's just like hanging on. Is that the cord? What is that? Oh well. You guys have truly, truly blessed me. Having over 1,000 subscribers is insane. Before I, um, got into Golf Clash, I was celebrating 50 subscribers after about a year on YouTube. But, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I know I'm going to lose some subscribers, but at the same time, there's other people out there who watch YouTube that don't even know my channel exists yet. And, they may be interested in some of my newer content. And like I said, before people, do a mass exodus from my channel or whatever, I am still going to be doing the Golf Clash stuff. It's just, it's another way to hang out with you guys. And, possibly, you know, expand our base. You know, I mean, I think it's awesome. We get on Golf Clash and we get 25 people watching. 25, man. Can you imagine a room of 25 people? I couldn't handle that. My nerves wouldn't let me handle that. But here, you know, just hanging out with you guys from the comfort of my own bedroom, you know, it's like it's something I can do, you know. And I know live streams don't pay as well as videos. Most people don't like watching them unless they're live, but I like hanging out with you guys, you know, and I just think there's far more things we can explore than just Golf Clash. Karma Jar's in the house. Let's see here. Steve says, I don't understand college football. We lucky we get an NFL at all. Go Seahawks. I am a Seahawks fan as well. This year, particularly because I have Russell Wilson in my fantasy as my fantasy quarterback. So I really hope he does very well tonight. Hopefully, it's a high-scoring game and the Seahawks can pull one out. Who are they playing? They're playing the Eagles today, I believe. Ms. De La Cruz, RJ, do you have a P.O. box? If so, can you inbox it, please? Unfortunately, I don't have a P.O. box. Counting my pennies. Definitely can't afford a P.O. box at this time, but you know, maybe if things do grow, if this new adventure of mine, you know, with my channel and everything does take off, you know, I'll invest in other things, you know, than past things. Like I can get rid of this big bulky headset and get a real microphone, you know, and things like that. Yeah, I also don't understand football. I like the gearing. The gearing th speak lol. I don't know if that was a typo or if I'm just dense, not able to figure out. Um, so yeah, I mean, it looks like we got a nice mix of men and women in here. So you know, college football might not be the best topic if they're not football watchers, including some men here. You know, I just thought that, you know, like Twitter and the news and everyone was, you know, just talking about college football and the playoffs and everything. So um, I figured, you know, I would talk about that for a little bit, and you know, because obviously the news has a pulse on what's important to people. Um, I mean, and like I said, if you guys want to talk about the Golf Clash, we got a little bit bigger crowd now than what we had when I first started. What do you guys think? I mean, I heard that Golf Clash got Game of the Year, and it's a fun game. I like the game a lot. Um, oh, she says where fans can send you a gift. That's awesome. I don't think I'm quite big enough for that. I think you probably have to be around at least 10,000 subscribers. Uh, Soccer, cricket, and rugby are our big sports. Oh, Steve, I know nothing about soccer, cricket, or rugby. I wish I could relate with that, but I understand. I much more prefer having you tune in from across the pond than, you know, talk about things that you're not interested in. FHP, is that you, Manny? He's like, real talk with RJ, what's good? It's all good in the hood, man. It's all good in the hood. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like, you know, maybe I should prepare a little better for this. I was hoping just to hop on and, you know, like I'd have a subject and everything and we would just talk and, you know, the comments would be pouring in, but trying to find like a common thing that everyone's interested in is hard. And the conversation just isn't going to be that good if I'm just trying to keep myself afloat here. Um, yeah, we had J-Bone on the one time, and me and him were talking a lot about, you know, the Colin Kaepernick situation and kneeling during the national anthem and everything. And that conversation just naturally, you know, what do you call it? Just naturally blossomed into something else. Let's see. No, brother, it's me, Mario. Oh, okay, my bad, Mario. Mario, it was you that coined that term, wasn't it? Real talk with RJ. I think that's the second time I've called you Manny. Sorry, well, I got the M part right. Greg K, let's talk about your knucklehead governor. Go ahead and shoot. What's wrong? What don't you like about Ohio's governor? Is it? I mean, I don't watch the news because it's nothing but lies and biasness. But I believe it's still John Kasich, isn't it? Let's see. Ms. De La Cruz says, "Oh, stop it! You're greater than one with a million subs. Just saying, you're starting out one day you'll be big. Trust it. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, if I could make enough just to live on, I I would be delighted. There's hmm, there's something about a man who doesn't work. It just makes you feel like a failure, at life. Like I'm looking at myself at 40-year-old man, 3 kids, and I never thought that I would be unemployed with a disability, and it just absolutely positively sucks. And YouTube is, kind of makes me feel like I have a bit of a purpose. So that's what I'm trying to get bigger this way. But the Golf Clash, we have our community and I love it, but when it comes down to it, right now, today, Golf Clash belongs to Tommy. He is way better than me. If we played head to head, I might beat him 1 out of 10 times if I'm lucky. He's got a much bigger following. He dives into it head first, as to where I kind of dip a toe in terms of the work we put in off camera. He's constantly on the Facebook groups. I don't spend much time in the Facebook groups. You know, he's devoted an awful lot of his life to Golf Clash, and that's why he's almost 10 times my size. He absolutely deserves to be there. Steven says, "Oh, I love American football. Watched it live at Wembley whenever it shows here." Oh, yeah, the Browns went over there, my team, and laid an egg there, although we have 0 wins and 11 losses. So what would you expect from anyone else, right? Uh, David Odgers. "Hey, RJ from Wales. It's a pleasure to watch you play." Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure to have you, tune in and hang out with us. Just so you know, this isn't really a Golf Clash video, but you're more than it's basically open talk. Talk about whatever you want, any questions you have. If you want my opinion on anything, whether it's daily events or if it's Golf Clash, or if there's just a topic you want to talk about, on air, let me know. Steven says, "Mate, you were so laid back. I hear your pain. I've been signed up for nearly a year now." I'm sorry, I'm not reading that right. If you could retype that, Stephen, I think I'm reading it wrong. Let's see. Uh-oh, we got Kid Rock in the house. Tennessee Matt says, "Don't let that stop you, bro. Look at how many Clash of Clans YouTubers there are." And then he follows by to say, "You don't have to be like Tommy. People will watch you because they like you and your content." Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm not bashing Tommy in any way. I hope that I didn't come across in any way of saying, "Oh, woe to me. Tommy's just too good. I can't compete in that field." I'm still gonna make Golf Clash videos, but you see the passion Tommy has. You see, like, I mean, when you look at Tommy, when you think of Tommy, look at his YouTube channel. It's called Golf Clash Tommy. Um, you know, Look at my YouTube channel. It's called ItsRJTV. you know that Golf Clash Tommy is covering Golf Clash. You don't know that about me because I don't only want to be Golf Clash. And if that costs me half my subscribers, well, so be it. I want to find a different type of connection. I was going to use the word deeper, but like I said, I don't want to disparage him in any way because that's his passion. And if my passion was Golf Clash, I'd be doing the same exact thing. My passion is connecting with people, and you guys have allowed me to connect with you through Golf Clash, so I've used that avenue, and I'm still going to use that avenue because I think each and every one of you, especially my subscribers that join me here in these chat, not just you 10, which it says I got 10 watching, but you know, the 25, which is our record, you know, that tunes in and watches me, you know, battle to get a playoff position or whatever. I mean, I don't really think you guys come here. Maybe some of you do, but I don't think you guys come here to watch me play a golfing game that you have on your phone. I think it's deeper than that. You know, I feel like I got a friendship with you guys, and you know, I don't only want to, you know, the only excuse to communicate with you guys. I don't want it to just be playing a golf video game that I have on my mobile phone. I think there's so much more potential here, and I want to look for it. And if it costs me my channel, if my subscriber count, you know, dives down because people just wanted to watch me play Golf Clash, so be it. You know, I gave it a shot. I gave it a try, and I think I did pretty good. I got up to 1,000 subscribers, 1,200 to be exact. But you know, and also, like I said, I played The Sims, and that was a huge flop. So I cut that, you know, I cut that out. And this is like a pilot thing. I'm trying new things, you know, and I'm hoping of all the things, of all the spaghetti I'm throwing at the wall, I'm hoping at least in one spot it sticks and I find something that we can all have a common interest in, you know, that would make you want to tune in rather than just watch me play a video game that we all like. Because it's not really like a video game. Like my son, he's a gamer. He hops on his PlayStation and he's like the best person I've ever seen play the game Overwatch or Call of Duty or Rainbow Six Siege or whatever. You know, I play a mobile golf game. Let's get back to the comments here real quick. Let's see. Steven, I find Tommy too high. For me, you are awesome, and I learned so much from you. Still can't use that bloody quarterback. I'm assuming you mean. uh, yeah, I've had a lot of people say that, and I have the same problem too. Like Tommy's streaming right now. Actually, if you guys want to run over there to get some tournament information, I wouldn't be offended. um, but you know, I can't watch him make these shots with a level 5 apocalypse when I have a level 7 extra mile. And see, that's another thing. What am I going to do? Restart my account again? Because not too many people, you know, I'm like a learning channel when it comes to Golf Clash. Not too many people can, you know, or can say they have a level 7 extra mile. So it's like I'm going to have to start over from scratch again. And, you know, I want to beat the game. I want to get max trophies and everything, you know? So I don't know. Been sick for a year, bad legs. Oh, Steven, I'm sorry. So you know how it feels, though, man. You know, just, you know, being the man of the house or whatever. And you ain't no man unless you got a job type feeling. I mean, and I'm not going to compare my situation to yours because anxiety is nothing compared to bad legs or being sick or whatever. But one thing that I really hate about my disability is it's not visual. You know, it's anxiety. So when people look at me, they're like, you're healthy, you look able-bodied, you look strong. Why don't you get a job? You know? And it's like I wish I could, but I get a job and within, you know, within 3 months, if I'm lucky, I end up having a few panic attacks at work, having to leave, can't come back to work because I'm scared to, and then, you know, I lose my job, you know. Let's see. Kid Rock, think about it. You and Tommy are basically the two main Golf Clash guys. I appreciate that, man. I really do. And you know, I would be lying if I didn't say I agree. There may be someone out there, if there is anyone else out there in between me and Tommy that's bigger, I haven't seen. But again, his passion for Golf Clash is there. My passion for Golf Clash is connecting with you, if that makes sense. You know, getting to know all you guys, getting to watch your guys' YouTube videos, getting um, what's the words that I'm looking for? I want a connection with you guys without sounding too. I can't think of the words, but you know what I mean. It's like the Golf Clash was just a vehicle to get me to where I'm at. Now that I'm where I'm at, and I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I want to continue to grow the relationship that I have with you guys. While obviously it would mean a bigger payday if I could get 1 million subscribers, or even if I could get 10,000 subscribers or 100,000, these chats would be so much harder, because everyone would just be putting stupid things like little smiley faces and LOLs and, not really adding anything to the conversation. That's why I have 1,200 subscribers, but there's 25 people that I really just love because you guys come and you hang out with me, and I feel like it's bigger than the game. Uh, Kid Rock says that's understandable, bro. Fuel Games, not to sound weird, but you have a voice for YouTube. Thank you, Fuel Games. That's I was actually just told that the other day that I kind of have like a disc jockey type voice or whatever. And also I think higher up in the comments someone said something like I'm so laid back or whatever. And then Ms. De La Cruz also says I have a soothing voice. Thank you so much. See, and I don't even have to try. It's just I don't know. It's just talking and connecting with you guys. Mark Rice says level 6 here. I assume he's talking about the extra mile. Mark Rice, bro, as soon as you get to level 7, it's a brand new club. It's awesome. It's better than the Apocalypse 2 or 3. I'm not 100% sure which one, but it's awesome. Steven says single parent with 2 kids. And you got custody, or hopefully you're not widowed or anything. Um, but yeah, oh man, I live with 2 of my 3 kids. My middle child moved in with her grandmother, but she's 19 years old, so she wanted to get out, and I don't blame her. We still have a good relationship and everything. Ms. De La Cruz makes me feel warm inside. If I am a bit down, hearing him out and reading my comments and just him interacting with him feels nice. What amazing words, Miss De La Cruz, because that's exactly how I feel. And you had the words better than I did. That's what I wanted to say. You guys make me feel warm inside. Agoraphobia is a very, very lonely type of anxiety because with it comes social anxiety. And I feel like I don't want to say it's a gift, but there's people that can't get on camera and and have a conversation. I couldn't do it yesterday with an interview, but I didn't know that guy, that I was interviewing. Justin is a really cool guy, but I've talked to him like 2 or 3 times, and it was just like uptight and everything on my end. It wasn't no fault of his own, but I wanted everything to go so perfect and smooth, which if you saw the video, it didn't. We had all kinds of audio interference and everything, which I have no idea how that happened, something through the air. But yeah, I just, you know, thank you so much. You basically stole the words out of my mind that I couldn't put into my mouth. And Mario says that's how channels get bigger. When you have a personal relationship with your subscribers and then go somewhere, them somewhere to go, not just need to go. Example strategy. Yeah, Mario, that's awesome. Um, that's what I'm looking forward to with this channel. And again, I feel like you guys are all friends, man. I mean, the next person I'm going to read here is Tennessee Matt, you know, he's got a fishing channel. And I'll be completely honest with you. I've fished probably 4 or 5 times in my entire life. To me, I've never said this before, and I hope you don't get upset, Tennessee Matt, but to me, fishing is one of the most boring things I could do besides watch someone else play Golf Clash. Oh my God, I just killed my channel there. But when I watch Tennessee Matt fish, it's awesome. It's like I am vicariously living through him when I see him reel in what looks to me, because I don't know much about fishing, a 20-pound freaking bass and hold it up, and it's like half the size of his torso or his body, or the full size of his torso. So, you know, it's like I don't personally care for fishing, but I want to watch Tennessee Matfish, you know, because I know that guy. You know, I feel like I'm out on the boat with him. You know, I don't know, it's an awesome feeling. You guys should try it. But anyway, Matt said, I don't know of anybody else bigger than you besides Tommy. Me neither. And, you know, I am humbled by that, but just being blatantly honest, it's not my passion. It's a game that I like to play, and people ask me for help in the comments, and I'm more than happy to oblige and give that help. And, you know, but I mean, when I play for the tournaments, I would just be sitting on my bed playing, but I like to just hang out with you guys. You know, I like to, I mean, I'm in an uncomfortable, you know, I don't know, $30 or $40 broken Amazon computer chair. You know, my back hurts every time I'm done streaming, talking with you guys, but it's so worth it because I have that warm feeling inside me. Um, you know, it feels great. Steven says Kevin Warren is in between. Kevin Warren, man, he's doing really good. I think he has 700 subscribers he probably has more now, but I'm pretty sure he just celebrated 700. So he's definitely an up and comer. And then Helios is doing some good things as well. So yeah, Tennessee Matt asked how many he had. I'm trying to catch up. Man, I'm going so slow here. I'm sorry, guys. Greg K says, I watch because you're so darn entertaining. Well, thank you. I don't know how I'm entertaining to anyone, but, you know, I've had a couple people say it, so I'll take it. Steve says you have a warmth about you, and you are widowed. I'm so sorry for your loss, man. That's awful. I have no words. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to form any words. I can only give you an apology. Wow. Yeah, that. Yeah, was it in an ice cave? I'm sorry, Stephen. Matt says Kevin has 833 subs. I think Kevin's gonna pass me. You know, unless one of these side type things that I want to do take off, which I really don't think I'm going about it right now, because, you know, I keep fluctuating between 7 and 10 people as to where when I play Golf Clash, you know, I'm in the 20s. But I mean, to be honest, I didn't really have a topic to talk about. I was kind of like coming in thinking it would just be an easy, you know, off the cuff type thing. David Odgers says, I like listening to your voice and your life. I appreciate it, man. That you know, and that's something too, is I probably share a little too much, and that's good for YouTube, you know. But yeah, I like to share a lot. I'm generally I'm a sad person, you know, so I don't know if that maybe reflects, you know, I think a lot of people are not completely happy with life, or life isn't turning out exactly how they thought it would, and maybe it's just kind of like a subconscious relating with someone or whatever. Ms. De La Cruz gives me 4 different colored hearts. Thank you. Tennessee Matt says, LOL. I'm assuming that's pertaining to me saying I hate fishing but love his videos. Mark Rice says, fishing, haha, fishing is super boring. I fall asleep every time. You know, I'm with you, Mark Rice, but if you watch Tubby Butt Fishing, Tennessee Matt Tubbs. It's like fishing with a celebrity. It's like fishing with Kid Rock or whatever, if you're a Kid Rock fan. I don't know, man. I can go to sleep to those videos, just play the first upload that his earliest upload that he has, and then, just occasionally, though, the one thing I hate is when he catches a fish when I'm just getting ready to doze off, and then it's like I gotta open my eyes, I gotta see what it is he's reeling in. But yeah, no, it's cool. When I was a kid, I used to watch a TV show. It's probably a local show. Maybe you guys heard of it, maybe not. Depending, obviously, if it was local. It was called Castaway Coolest, and he had a fishing show. And again, fishing was boring, but he just edited it right, much like Matt does, and it made it interesting. Nobody wants to see someone just sitting in a boat silently, waiting for a hook to happen. And that's not how he tapes, and that's what I love about it. Uh, and Matt even says, believe me, it could definitely be boring. I'm sure you do a lot of editing, man, because your videos are top notch. Steven says, stuff happens, makes you stronger. Yes. Never encountered anything quite like yourself, but very wise words. And it would do everyone well to listen to Steven, because a lot of times you don't really learn the easy way. You learn the hard way. Now, obviously, with Steven, that was something completely out of his control, but a lot of people make their own lives harder and they don't even know they're doing it. One of my favorite lyrics that I never understood until it was too late in my life, and I try to live by it now, is give what you have for what you might lose. And when I first heard that, I'm thinking to myself, give what you have for what you might lose. That makes absolutely no sense. Give what you have. So I'm going to give everything away because I might lose things. It just didn't make sense to me. But then once I lost everything, I was like, oh my God, if I would have given, this part of my life or that part of my life 110%, I wouldn't have lost everything, So now I get it. But unfortunately, it took, it took the hard way. Fuel Game says, well wishes, Stephen. Awesome, man. That was awesome sentiment of you. Matt says, no offense to his channel, but your videos are put together better. I like how you fill the whole screen and show your face. Yeah, Kevin's a great guy. I've talked with him a couple times, and I'm really happy to see him growing. And if he ever wants to contact me on, what is it? Like how you guys contact me through Facebook or whatever. I'm sure he's watching Golf Clash Tommy over there, but I'll show him how to fill his screen out and everything. I'd love to see each and every one of you guys succeed at YouTube. There's plenty of room for all of us, Yeah, and he says I don't like watching YouTube videos of just a screen. For a while there, when I was doing my videos, I always tried to put like a funny picture on one side, and then I would have my face up here, my channel information below me, the Golf Clash in the middle, and then I'd try to find like a funny picture or something to put on the right. Let's see here. Golf Clash got boring for me. I never play. And to be honest, I'm happy that you're just not golf. Well, thank you so much. That's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Because I have a feeling that a year from now, a lot of you guys probably aren't going to be playing Golf Clash, and neither am I. But I am now, and I'll continue to play, until that time comes. Just, that's how mobile games are. They're free. You get sick of them after so long. Either you beat them or you give up on trying to beat them. And yeah. And then Miss De La Cruz also says, yeah, you do make my depression much easier. I feel like I'm no longer alone. Well, thank you so much. I don't have a response for that. And you guys are going to see a little fruit fly or something go right over the center of the lens. I'm looking at my screen because that's going to be kind of weird to see that happen. It's probably going to look like a roach or something on your end because my camera is so tiny. And, the fruit fly is going to appear so much bigger. Nope, no, I think that was it. You guys just caught like a wing or whatever. Fuel games. Once I hit 300 on Golf Clash, I got sick of it. I might play once a week now, but I enjoy watching RJ. Strange, right? Oh well. You know, I mean, when I say strange, I really appreciate that Fuel games. It's just, um, you know, like Tennessee Matt. You know, I mean, I'm not going to try to compare myself to him, but his channel is awesome. It's like Mark Rice says, "Got to go. See you later. Take care, Mark. Thanks for hanging out with us." I don't really care for fishing. I won't watch any of his competitions, you know, fishing channels or whatever. But you know, he's a funny guy. He's a cool guy. You know, catching them fish, and you know, I don't know. It's just you know, you care. You know, certain people make you care about them, and you don't even know them, and I think that's kind of awesome. So thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Steven says you never know what you got till you lose it. I lost it all, but I'm fighting back. Or fighting back is what you do when you have children. Amen, man. You know, and that's really when my anxiety really kicked into high gear is after my first child, and then after my second child it got worse, and I don't think it got any worse after my youngest, but by that point, you know, I was already so strung out and everything. You know, but I think it's because part of the reason was I realized my life isn't the most important thing to me anymore. You know, so you just get so stressed out every time they'd get a flu or scrape their knee or, you know, just any type of situation. You know, and unfortunately, I was just a little too fragile mentally for myself and taking care of myself, not taking care of them. I've had many people tell me that I'm an excellent father, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but you know, it's like I have enough for them, but I don't have it in me for me because I'm worried about them. I'm overprotective. Uh, let's see. Ms. De La Cruz says, hearing you read that sounded bad. I did not mean it like that. I'm sorry. No, no, not at all, Ms. De La Cruz. There was nothing that you said that made me think ill of any comment, and not one thing you said did I came across that way to me. So I'm sorry if it came across that way in the inflection of my voice. It is all good. Steven says, I'm on a roll in Golf Clash now, over 1,000 trophies and over 700,000 gold coins. Hey man, that bankroll management looks awesome. Uh, Thanks for the kind words, bro. Matt says, I mean, you know, they are kind words, but I hate when a lot of people get on my case for saying this, but I always say it. They're not kind words because when someone says kind words, it's kind of like, you know, I'm doing someone a favor or whatever. It's from the heart, man. I really think your channel's going to blow up. I really do. Just got to continue making those videos. I know you had that little run in with YouTube and you know, with their stupid rules and everything. I don't know if you want that talked about too much, but no, he didn't do anything wrong. He was basically being punished for being small. And, you know, I hope that the motivation's there and looking forward to new videos. Definitely subscribed. Let's see here. Ms. De La Cruz, not that I'm happy you have depression, but just happy to know someone else is in the same boat, if that makes sense. Absolutely, because when you're in depression, you feel all alone. And, you know, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Um, and it is awesome to see you're not alone. So 100% agree. Let's see. Ms. De La Cruz also says, yeah, guys, you have to see him and his son. It's awesome. Yeah, my son is my best friend. I don't think I'm his best friend, but that's okay because I don't think my 40-year-old dad would be my best friend when I was his age either. Matt says, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's cool. You can talk about me. It's all good. Well, we caught up in the comments, and I just want to say, um, okay, so originally I thought this was going to be super easy, and there'd just be magical comments helping me float through, a stream, about all these wonderful topics and everything. But as a host, it's my job to have topics that people are passionate about, that people want to chime in and, and say things, um, have their opinion said and everything. So I kind of just came on for the, well, not for the wrong reasons, but unprepared. And, in the future, I'll definitely have more of a plan, more of a structure. But it ended up being a blessing anyway, because I'm glad I got to connect with all you guys. I feel like everyone in the chat is talking, and that's what I'm looking for, is the interaction with you guys. So even though it wasn't what I was set out to do, um, it wasn't my plan originally to have this type of video. It absolutely accomplished something that I've wanted to do, which was just reach out and connect with you guys. So this might be something that I might try to do once a week, once a month, or whatever it is. If there's ever like a long draw out between golf clash tournaments, or between anything big going on that people want to talk about and be heard about. But let's see. Steven says, I have two girls. They are my best friends. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Steve. Uh, let's see. And then Tennessee Matt says, same here, bro. I tell my son he's my best friend every day. Yeah, see? So I'm not the only one saying that. That's awesome. I like these. I like to hang out and talk. And then there's, looks like 4 thumbs up emojis from Ms. De La Cruz. I like them too, and that's the thing. There's 7 people here watching. It's not about the numbers, If there was 25 people watching, I'd be saying thank you and everything else, but I just don't feel like we would have like this intimate conversation, And I don't know. I feel like, it's like friendship building or whatever, It's kind of like cementing relationships with you guys. And I think that's awesome. It's something I really needed today that I didn't know I needed until after we're almost an hour into this. Good to talk. Yes, I do. They are my world. Amen, Stephen. Amen. Ms. De La Cruz says, no kids for me yet, but my 3 cats and 2 ferrets are my best friend. I have 2 dogs, 2 cats that I never see. Like they literally just like disappear until like it's completely dark in the house. So basically there's just a litter box that I have to tend to. And well, actually I refuse to attend the litter box. I said that before we got the cats. So litter, I have to pay for cat litter and cat food. Other than that, I don't even realize I have cats. And I do actually have a ferret. And that's it for my pets. The ferret is my son's. We got it for him for, I don't remember if it was I think it was a birthday present like 2 years ago. And yeah, pets are family, as far as I'm concerned, if I, ever feel sad or down or whatever, especially my buddy Dude, uh, my poodle, standard poodle, the big ones, he just comes up to me, like, pet me, man. I could tell that you're not having a good day. Greg K has 9 kids and they wore me out. Oh my God, that's a big family, Greg. 9 kids. Wow. You want to know what's funny though? When I was a teenager, I always said I wanted to have, I don't think I said 9. I think I said like 5 or 7. And then I thought I was done at 2. And, honestly, Aiden was the only child that was, my youngest son was the only one that was actually planned that we tried for. But I refused to call my older 2 mistakes because we were happy that we were having them. They just weren't planned, if that makes sense. Um, Steven says, brilliant. My first laugh of the day. Scott Knox. Hey, glad you chimed in. Let's see here what you got to say. I have 3 kids, 2 stepkids, which I consider mine. I'm going to hit on that. And then the youngest, 15-year-old daughter, hard to raise, 12-year-old son, 4-year-old son, and they are my best friends. I don't let them know that. LOL. Oh, and I'm going to hit on it again too, because Matt Tubbs says, same here, Scott. I have 3 and 1 step. And we're losing Miss De La Cruz because she says her battery died. Scott and Matt, you guys are awesome in my book. You know how many abusive step parents there are out there in the world. I've had personal, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to trash people, especially, family, friends, things like that. But I've had my own run-ins with the evil step-parent type situation, and it could ruin your life. And the fact that, you guys are stepping up and being good fathers to this stepson, oh, what the hell? I wasn't abused by my stepfather in any way, not really, but you could just tell that he really didn't, I was part of the baggage, and I know a lot of other stepkids had it 10 times worse than mine. There's a saying around here, I don't know if you guys ever heard, but, treated like a redheaded stepchild or whatever, and that's all too real. That kid didn't do anything wrong, and I don't know if it's jealousy from the first husband or wife, because I've also seen women treat their stepchildren, very badly. And you're ruining a life. You really are ruining a life. And I got to tell you guys, mistakes are made, and the thing is you got to fix your mistake. You got to turn away from your bad ways. And I know I'm not referring to you guys. You guys are bragging about your stepchildren, which is absolutely awesome. But there's a lot of people out there who wouldn't brag about their stepchildren. And it's something that you pass on, like a gene almost. You treat your stepson or your stepdaughter so badly that when they go out and they have kids, they're going to see how much you loved um, your biological children and how much of a bother they were to you as your stepchildren, that when they do grow up, they are going to treat their stepchildren the same exact way. I've never had stepchildren, but I do have a nephew that I'd like to bring up that I mistreated for probably about 2 or 3 years. Now, in no way I'd never hit him or anything like that, but I collect these little 124 scale cars, and I'd have them over the mantles and displayed in my room. And we live in a duplex. We own. We got the downstairs. He has the upstairs. He would come down, and he would take my cars and he would crash them together, like any normal kid would do or whatever. But my patience for him just was not there. And it got so bad, that, and I'd never touch him or anything, I would never hit him. But it got to the point where he would spit on me while we were on the steps and I was yelling at him. And I hated this kid. I hated his guts. And then one day I realized, oh my God, I'm treating him how my stepfather treated me. And I sat him down. I had a talk with him. I said, your uncle was wrong. I want to start over. I'm really sorry, for the way that I've treated you. Let's start over. And our relationship from that point all the way, he's like 12 years old now. So it's been probably, I think it's been a good 6 years, maybe longer, that we've had a golden relationship, and all it was realizing, hey, wait a minute, you're acting just like the very person that you blamed for ruining a certain portion of your life. And he's a wonderful father. I have a half brother, and he's a wonderful father to my brother. And he's a good person. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. He's just, your typical stepfather. So there's a little bit of dirt on me. Let's go back to the comments here. Ms. De La Cruz says she turned on her iPad real quick. Awesome. Still here. Scott Knox says, I tell them every day I love them, and we have father-kids time. Super important, Scott. That's awesome. Yeah, way to go, guys. Not too many out there. Blessings for you being true men. Yes, it's definitely not the children's fault that the first relationship didn't work out between his mother and father, and he's hurting enough. He or she's hurting enough just on that alone, because a lot of times they blame themselves, for the divorce if they're of a certain age. Let's just see this. Tennessee Matt, sucks to hear that, man. I try to make my stepdaughter feel just like the other two. I wish everyone would, Matt. And he says, my stepdaughter is 13, and I met her when she turned just 1. So I've been there for her whole life, so she calls me dad and knows that I treat her better than her own dad. Again, awesome to hear. Her life is going to be immeasurably better because of that. Scott Knox says, my dad adopted me and my sister back in the mid-60s, and he is my dad, and that carries throughout life. Amen, man. Amen for all the men who stand up in their lives and do the right thing. And Tennessee Matt says, there's a big difference in a father and a dad. Scott knows that firsthand. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of people out there that are basically just you know uh, biologically, they were there, and a kid shares half of their genes with the guy, but beyond that, he's trash, or she's trash, whether it be drugs, whether it just be an abusive personality, whatever it might be. Um, but the point of me telling that story was even I made a mistake, and I didn't even realize it. I just thought I had like one of the worst nephews that like anyone could possibly have. He's like, he just always wanted to break my stuff. And it was just so amazing. I broke down into tears, when I realized I treated him the way I was treated. I couldn't believe I did that. I became what I hated. But the afterwards of that, the reward, for treating, my nephew much better. And again, like I said, I never laid a hand on him. It was all just verbal, like always yelling at him for the smallest little thing. Eating a sandwich, like a little corner of the crust falls on the floor, and you make just like way bigger of a deal, than you would if it was one of your own kids or if it was anyone else. I was that guy, for a short period of his life, which was really weird because when he was first born, I was super close to him. I was always begging to babysit him and everything, um, and everything. But yeah, it was learned in my genes. You know, it was like um, it was like hardwired in me. Like you're not my kid. You're here through marriage. I don't owe you that. I mean, this isn't like the way that you think on the surface, but when you look back, you kind of just see that subconsciously you were thinking this way. And, you know, uh, I don't know how to put it. I'm definitely not proud of it, but, I'm not going to sit here and, tell you guys, oh, woe is me for this and woe is me for that and make it sound like I'm this perfect guy. I've definitely made my mistakes in life, and I'm just sharing one of them with you, with my nephew and everything. But I got to tell you, the turnaround in our relationship is just absolutely amazing. I love my nephew to death. And, he's constantly telling me how I'm his favorite uncle. So, what a way to go from a little 6, 7-year-old brat spitting on me, doing some of the things purposely to make me mad because he knows that, I'm his mean uncle or whatever, to just a few years later having him constantly tell me that I'm his favorite uncle, and hanging out with us down here. He's like my son's age, so he hangs out with my son a lot, but we watch horror movies together. Um, I watch anime with them, from time to time. They got me into Naruto and Death Note and a few other things. But yeah, it's like Steven just said, we all make mistakes. It's learning from them that's important. And that's really tying up everything that I just said, is everyone makes mistakes, and there's different ways you can go about it. You can go about it um, by learning from someone who's already been there, which is just like way too easy, and most people will not do that. Then there's also going through it yourself, going through the living hell, and coming out on the other end stronger. And even though you came out stronger, though, you're changed forever because you left a piece of your soul. You like damaged a piece of your soul going through whatever it is that you went through. However, you do come out the other end better. And then there's the other people who just keep making the same damn mistake over and over and never learning, whether it's not paying enough attention to, your wife or your children or whatever it is until it's too late, or whether it's mistreating your stepchild or your nieces or nephews or whatever. Um, that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's to repent. It's to turn from whatever you're doing wrong in your life and learning and becoming better because you learned of the mistake that you made. And what a beautiful feeling it is when you have that aha moment and you realize you made a mistake and you now see that it was a mistake. It was like if you asked me yesterday before I realized I made a mistake, I wasn't in the wrong. I did everything right. This person over here, they just don't know how to act. They just, they don't know, um, they don't know how good they have it, things like that. And then all of a sudden, something happens in your life, whether you want to believe that God opened your eyes, which is, the way that I see it, or, if it, whatever makes you see is, you know, it's just a huge leap forward in life. It's life changing. So anyway, let's catch back up in the comments again real quick here. Uh, I'm tough on my kids and may do some yelling, but I let them know that I love them every day and it hurts me to have to discipline them, but I have to do it because I love them, says Tennessee Matt. And then he goes on to say, but they rarely need it. Glad to hear you and your nephew's relationship is doing better. Oh, absolutely. I'm not against yelling or anything. If you don't punish your kids and you don't, show them, hey, this is right, this is wrong, how are they going to know? I mean, I'm definitely not one of those parents out there that say, don't yell at your child. Do you know what you're doing to their self-esteem? You need to just sit down and, explain to them how, in the nicest possible way, I don't know, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but yeah, there's people that just refuse to punish their children. And I'm absolutely not there. There's a big difference between punishment and abuse. And I think that you and Scott definitely know, everyone in here, I would assume, definitely knows the difference. It's not a fine line between punishment and abuse. It's a pretty thick line. It's just unfortunately some people don't realize that they're in the center of, this evil, this badness, especially if they're doing it because it was done to them. that's when it's really convicting. That's when you're like, wow, I became the very thing that I despised. And that's a good wake up call. Honestly, I believe if I was never mistreated, I would have never mistreated him. But it's my fault. It's not the guy who treated me wrong, because I'm responsible for my own actions. And I just thank God that I was able to discover it, and I didn't just keep going on living my life in ignorance and making his life harder on him. Scott says it happens though, and I was thinking the same when my son was born. That was my biggest fear, treating biological son better than my other two, but I can't. Awesome to hear, man. You are, in my opinion, through my personal life experiences, you guys are in the minority, and that is a great thing to be in this case, because there's just way too many out there that aren't treated the way they need to be, to be successful in life and to not abuse, their own stepchildren and so on and so forth. Let's see. Oh, Greg left us. He said, well, it's been real and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. I got I got to go. Keep your nose clean. See you later. Well, if you were still out there, Greg, funny. Thank you. Yes, you're right. It has been real and it has been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. Thanks for joining us, man. That's good to hear, Scott. They don't realize now, they will when they get older. Amen. Very true. Um, and then Scott chimed in to say, you have to discipline them. That's what makes kids' lives better. Makes kids better in life. Amen. Very true. Very true. You have to do both. You have to talk to them first, and when they continue to mess up after being told, then you have to do more to make them realize. Yeah, I mean, as long as just never take punishment off the table would be my parental, advice. And then there's different types of, punishments or whatever for certain things. Some kids beat their kids, or kids. Some adults beat their kids. Other adults yell at their kids. Sometimes the ones who beat their kids get told by the other people, their friends or neighbors or whatever. Yeah, you got to beat that kid down and let them know who's boss, and they feel like they're doing the right thing. Then you get other people who just basically have to raise their voice and everything, and they live next to a polar opposite type person's like, you can't raise your voice at a kid. No, my mom raised her voice with me quite a few times. My mom is my rock here. My mom is the reason that for every part of me that turned out okay, I have my mom to thank for that. Unfortunately, Miss De La Cruz says my mom was very abusive, very, but my stepfather was amazing. Wow, he was my best friend, and not having him in my life since 2012 was a huge heartbreak in my life. I miss him so. Wow, we really got a diverse crowd in here from this standpoint. Hearing that your mother was abusive, I'm so sorry to hear that, but you actually were blessed with a stepfather who stepped in to fill in that gap. And I'm so sorry that you lost him, but I really truly hope that your mother can turn the corner on that and realize, what she did wrong, and hopefully you can find the strength somewhere within you to forgive her, um, because, if she does come to the realization that she was abusive and does come to regret it and feel horrible, then she would, you know, I think she would be worthy of forgiveness. Now, I don't know the full story. I don't know to what level of abuse she went through. But, just thinking on, like a typical level, kind of like what I said, just yelling at my nephew for the smallest things, type abuse. Things like that, I think, are definitely forgivable. And I'm glad that he forgave me. And, I'm not saying that I 100% deserved forgiveness, because I'm sure, he probably was thinking, why is my uncle treating me like this? What? He doesn't yell at his own, kids for dropping a crumb on the floor. you know, and I didn't realize it. It was almost like my eyes were closed, you know, and then one day my eyes were open, and I hope that your mom comes around, Miss De La Cruz. Let's see. I was very lucky to have him in my life. Thank you guys for giving a child love and protection when their real dads fail them. Amen. Stephen said, I've had to be hard and organized with my kids, but we also have so much fun. Oh, you've got to be hard and organized with them. I was not hard and organized with my daughters. And if you've seen their bedrooms, if you heard some of the ways my neighbors tell me that I'm, you know, because I'm overprotective and, you know, I don't really like yelling at my kids. If I could go back in time, I would yell twice as much because I was on the other end of the spectrum with my kids. You know, I pretty much let them get away with murder, and I feel like I did more of a disservice. What? You go get some milk. You got your license and a car. Let's see here. How am I supposed to make hot chocolate with no milk? I make hot chocolate with water. Yeah, you do, in the Keurig. It's not disgusting. You just have bad taste buds. Get them from your mother. I lost my spot here. I know. No, not I know. You never know what's going on in a child's life, even if you are the parents. Trust me when I say, when we act out, it's for a reason, especially if we are well behaved before, says Miss De La Cruz. Very insightful. Very insightful. Taking the cell phone away works really good. Yes, it does. I've done that a few times, and I've been told how much I'm hated and everything else, and in the back of my mind, I just smile and go, that was a good punishment. My oldest jumps when I mention that cell phone. Yes, they do. Unfortunately, my oldists are oldists, if that's a word. My oldists are 21 and 19, so I can't really do that anymore. But it was nice while while it lasted. Yep, that definitely worked. Oh, you want this phone back? The bathroom could use a little scrubbing if you want to make up for that. And maybe instead of giving you back your phone in a week, I'll give it back to you in 2 or 3 days. And that's what I'd do. I'd make a list of chores and be like, well, if you want to cut down, your groundment period, you can clean this room, you can clean out the refrigerator, whatever it is. So yeah, the cell phone trick is wonderful. Scott says, so does my daughter when taking cell phone. So does my daughter. Taking the cell phone away is the best punishment for her. I think it's the best for just about every kid. Let's see here. Ms. De La Cruz says, yeah, she has asked forgiveness, and of course I have. I get it now. She did what they did to her. She did what they did to her. Wow. Okay, so she was kind of in. I don't want to say she was in my same boat because I don't want my abuse to sound bad. It was just verbal abuse for me, really, and I know there's sexual abuse, there's physical abuse, there's so many different abuses. Um, I consider myself very lucky that it was only, verbal abuse in my case, um, and also in my nephew's case. Let's see. Agreed from England. No cell phone works every time, says Steven. Scott says Keurig's makes the best hot chocolate. Thanks for agreeing with me, Scott. Completely agree. Yeah, you want to come in here and confront him? Keurigs do make the best hot chocolate. What's trash? He's trash and his hot chocolate is trash. No. His hot chocolate's good. Why do you think Keurig makes so much money? Because they make the best hot chocolate. Okay, can I tell you how much Keurig's hot chocolate is? $8 for 8 cups. You want to know how much the hot chocolate packets I bought were? $1. $1 for 8 packets. So
So I bought 2. For $2, I have 16 cups of hot chocolate.
So you beat the system. You know how you beat the system?
What?
You use the Keurig to dispense the hot water, and then you take your little $1 packets and you open them up and pour them in, and that way you still get your Keurig hot chocolate.
That worked.
All right, whatever. I'm wrapping this up, and I told Aiden I was going to give him an icy, so I'll grab some milk too. Let me just read these final few comments.
Hey, Alyssa.
Comments here.
Call me Satan again and I'll kill you.
No, hot chocolate is tasty with water. Is not tasty with water. Oh, so you're agreeing with my daughter. All right, so it's 1-1. Steven, I have totally open relationship with my girls. They are 17 and 16 now. Been on my own since they were 3 and 4. Yeah, man. I mean, just talking about parenting is awesome. Let's see, but verbal abuse is the worst. Scott, I don't know if I completely agree. Verbal abuse is definitely not a good thing at all. And there's definitely different levels of verbal abuse. If you sit there and tell your child they're a piece of crap, they will never amount to anything. You know, why do you dress like that? You look like a slut, or things like that. Why do you eat that much? Don't you want to be thin? Whatever tears them down, that is awful. And that's not the type of verbal abuse that I incurred. And those are never things that I would say to, my nephew back in the day. Basically, when I'm talking about verbal abuse, and verbal abuse might not even be the right word. The abuse was more of, okay, I love this son, my brother. You are just part of the baggage. You were part of the package. I told you to clean up the dog crap in the backyard, and you missed one small pile over here. And I'm going to ground you because of that. As to where, let's say, just for an example, this never happened, but just for an example, let's say my brother did the same thing, and he only cleaned up half of the pile. So clearly I did a better job. And, the same person that just scolded me for missing half a pile of the dog crap, is one of my chores to go pick up, doesn't say a word to him, gives him his allowance, thank you, go on, from that point. That is much, much different and much lesser form of abuse than belittling someone as to who they are. Because yes, verbal abuse definitely, and mental abuse, as I see the correction from Stephen, and Scott says yes, mental, as well as physical and sexual, can cause suicidal thoughts and everything else. So being a parent is really, really tough work. And if you have relationship problems with any of your kids, which I don't think anyone on here live now has, but you need to be very careful, and just make sure you're right. Try to look at every aspect of what's going on and why you don't have a good relationship with all or one of your children, and do everything you can to repair that, because when they get older, they may not come back to visit you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to single anyone out, but one of my kids doesn't seem to like me as much as the others, and there was absolutely no abuse on that end, although I don't know if she agrees with that or disagrees with it. It was just, she oh, now it's one of my daughters, thinks I was just much too strict, And because I was the one imposing the rules, imposing the boundaries and things like that, I was just looked at as a mean father or whatever. But that was after I was convicted, you know, and when I mean convicted, no, I never went to jail, convicted by God, after I was shown that I was doing wrong to my nephew. You know, you got to be on the same page as their mother, basically, is what it comes down to. Yeah, Steven says, never easy being a parent. Just do the best is all you can do. Amen, man. Never thought this conversation would be steered towards parenting, but what an important topic and what an awesome conversation. Um, as I said, I guess I got to go to the store and get some milk. And I told my son I would get us some ices. Well, I'm gonna get some Diet Coke and I'll get him an icy. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. You guys hung out for like an hour and a half. But this is, I don't know how we even got on the topic of parenting or whatever, but this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. Just this connection with this 1,200 subscribers, and I'm having a really deep, intimate conversation with 6 of you guys. That's the difference, man. 1,200 subscribers, 7 really good friends, and I appreciate you guys um, so much for hanging out with me. Scott says, RJ, you're bigger for realizing and changing. You know what, Scott? I don't want to toot my own horn. Don't want to toot my own horn, but yes, my life has changed for the better, and so has my nephew's life changed for the better after I realized that I was doing something incorrect. I apologized to him, and you know how hard that was? I mean, even though I realized I was in the wrong, do you realize how hard it is to apologize to someone that's like 6 years old, and you're an adult, and you felt you were right and they were just like a really bad kid that just didn't understand? But I was wrong. And if I wanted to show him what right looked like, I owed him an apology, and he got one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go down to his room right after this. You guys really touched my heart today. I'm going to get him a slushie as well, see if he wants to come with me. Icy. Tennessee Matt says, I love Icy. Steven says, enjoyed every minute. Thanks, RJ. Ms. De La Cruz says, have a blessed day. David Odger says, I'm happy to be here. And Ms. De La Cruz says, bye, guys. Happy holidays. We'll definitely be on again before Christmas. But yes, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, listening to my confessionals, and sharing your personal life with us. Just what an awesome, special time. If I lost all my subscribers tomorrow, the fact that I may have 7 friends to hang out with online was absolutely worth it. Thank you guys so much. Have a awesome, awesome day. Go Browns.